is up, guys? Here back with another YouTube video. Today we are going to be talking about a major heat wave that is ongoing in the U.S. here and severe potential in the next few days. We're also going to be talking about the tropics here. So right now we've just been under a heat wave, and this heat wave will not be showing signs of ending soon. In the next few days here, there will be some extreme heat over the areas here in Oklahoma and Texas, just non-stop hot. Remember, if anybody has heat stroke, you need to drink water, and if anybody gets heat stroke, they need to call 911 if anyone ever gets heat stroke. And make sure to be hydrated if you are outside. It's just nonstop heat in these regions here. Just really hot temperatures stretching all the way up to North Dakota here, and even into Montana we're seeing some 103-degree weather here. And then in the next few days, this will just keep stretching further east into the northeast and across the U.S. here. And this is not showing signs of ending anytime soon. Just non-stop heat after hot, after hot, after hot, after hot. 100-degree weather in a lot of the U.S. here. I mean, this hot weather is stretching all the way into the northeast here, and this is just not letting go. I mean, look, some very hot temperatures in these areas. I'll put an H for hot in that region there. A lot of the U.S. is going to be experiencing very hot weather here. So that is a concerning thing here. And this is just not looking like it. It's just not having any signs of going away here. I mean, look, this is extreme heat in Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky. This just nonstop, extremely hot weather here. This is pretty crazy here. It's just not letting go. Look, it just keeps coming. Extreme heat. So that is what we are talking about at the moment here. Now we are going to take a look at radar omega on the severe weather. So now, if we do take a look at the severe weather here, we do have a area of a slight risk of severe weather centered into this region here. The main threats are damaging wind gusts, but some instances of hail could be possible but isolated. There also is a 2% chance of tornadoes in this region here. That is fairly low. I just be weather aware just in case. Some of the areas that could be potentially impacted by this include Jackson, Tennessee, Union City, Memphis, Jonesboro, Poplar Bluff, and Cape Girardeau and West Plains here. Some areas that could be impacted in this slight risk of severe weather today. We do actually have a few severe thunderstorms that are ongoing here. This includes areas in Pocahontas, Poplar Bluff, also near Fredericktown. That just has no tornado threat and mostly just a threat for some isolated wind gusts, which is what we are talking about at the moment. Just be weather aware if you do live in those regions here. For the day 2 outlook, we do have an area of a marginal risk of severe weather here, and a marginal risk of severe weather in the northeast, and then another area of a slight risk of severe weather here, including areas of North Dakota and Montana tomorrow, which would be Monday, in areas in Minot, Rugby, Belcourt, Newtown, Williston, Sydney, and those areas could be affected in slight risk. We're going to take a look at this. This actually potentially looks concerning. It's only a marginal risk, but there's a 2% area of tornadoes here, so we need to take a look at this. This could get upgraded to a slight risk. So if this does seem to be looking bad here, but we do have an area of a risk here, and that's why we are going to take a look at the models for that risk. Also, for today, if we do take a look at the models, what it's showing, we're going to go to the 23Z. What it's showing is just some potential severe storms with mostly wind damage and maybe even some embedded supercells. Could produce a tornado too, so be weather aware there, but that threat is very low. But the main threats will be damaging wind gusts. This will approach the Memphis area by 1 a.m. Central Time here. With that threat for wind damage. So persons in Memphis need to be very weather aware today for that here. For tomorrow's risk, we will see a potential risk of severe weather here. We do look at the NAM 3-kilometer model. We can take a look at this. See what the NAM model thinks. So we're just going to wait for this to stretch through here. So by Monday, we do see a lot of clearing right here, and then some big-time storms look like they could be forming here. These could have some supercells that could be tornadic here by around 4 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern time here. There could be some supercells heading near Allentown. These could be tornadics. This is something you need to be weather aware for here. The tornado threat is fairly low, but you still need to be weather aware no matter how high the tornado threat or not is here. This will eventually stretch into the New York City area and maybe even some wind gusts near Philadelphia here, but that is what we were talking about. The threat does seem to be very low, but if we do see any supercells that could form in this 2% area, you need to be weather aware in Albany and Scranton and Allentown here for tornadoes that day. Also, we are going to take a look at the models for the day 2 outlook here. So on day 2, we do, let's look at the NAM 3-kilometer model. And it's stretched about to 5 a.m. So here, right about, I don't know what time this is, but right about 6 p.m. Central Time here, we do have some potential supercells forming here. These won't be tornadic, luckily, but these could have some definite hail and wind damage here. So is what we were talking about. This will stretch into the areas in Minot by around 11 p.m. Central Time here. So just be weather aware if you do live in those areas. We also have a risk on day 3. We can't look at the models for this risk, but what we can look at is that this could be tornadic here. The main threat we are seeing with this event right here will mostly be driven by wind damage in this slight risk here. So if you do live in St. Paul, Green Bay, just to the north of Milwaukee, you need in Eau Claire here, you need to be weather aware for a slight risk of severe weather on day 3 here. We can't really take a look much at the models, but what we can look at is that this could have potential for a tornado or 2 here, and this could stretch further east here and head into the northeast with a threat into the northeast that we need to take a look at here. So that is what we are talking about at the moment, and let's take a look at that here. So by taking a look at that, we do by looking at the Euro model here. So what it would be? So the Euro model does show from pretty far out from now, they do show that we could see some potential for some storms here developing that could be tornadics. That is what we were looking at. So, yeah. All right. Also, there's just going to be a lot of rain stretched into this area. And guys, you know the typical setup when you do see the ridge of hot weather centered in this area, hot. Just to the north of that is when you see your severe potential. That's why we've been seeing severe weather just to the north in this region up here in the north, because that is where these what is it called? I forgot what it was called. Sorry, but so we do have a ridge to the south with hot weather, and then we do have a big area just to the north of that hot weather, where severe potential could form here. So that is what we are talking about. That's why we do have these outlooks put out here. So you need to be weather aware for that. now we are going to take a look at the tropical weather. So now, if we take a look at the tropical weather, we do indeed have a hurricane ongoing here. This is called Hurricane Estelle here. Luckily, this isn't posing a threat to anybody. This is just going to sit there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Like all these other storms have been happening right now, just sitting in the Pacific Ocean here. We do have a Category 1 hurricane at the moment, Hurricane Estelle. The only threats that this could potentially do is off the Mexico coast, right in this region I just circled. Could have some high tide, some big waves and stuff, and could pose some rip currents. So if you do live in those areas in Mexico, just be aware for that. So yeah, this is not the most organized thing. This is probably going to be a Category 2 hurricane here by about 1 a.m. Central Time. Here, this will be a Category 1 hurricane, so that is what we're talking about at the moment. Now, if you guys are wondering, how come there's no activity going on? There's no activity in the region. There's no tropical activity. Well, it's been so hyped up as people are like, is it going to be tropical development in what we call the main development region? The main development region is in this area, as typically tropical waves form off Africa here. And why we haven't been seeing any storms is because the warm temperatures. We haven't been seeing much in the way of warm temperatures forming, and there's been so much Saharan dust coming off into the main development region that's making it almost impossible for any storms to form here. And if any storms do form, it's not with the Saharan the Saharan dust is allowing it to just move more here. But I do think in the next few weeks here, stuff could start happening here, because some of the models do show. I can't look at them because I do not have I'm not paying for the software that uses it. It does show the Saharan dust will move to the north of the main development region, and warmer temperatures will start to form here, which could be dangerous. We also have some very hot weather ongoing. The temperatures in the ocean are hot in the Gulf of Mexico here, and will also be warming up in the main development region here. So I'm telling you guys, things will start ramping up, and I do think we will start to see an above average season here. But luckily right now we aren't seeing much in the way of tropical development. Well, this does conclude our video today. I do hope you guys liked this video here. We are ending the stream here now, and bye guys.